Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Wekiva High School welcomes you once again to Mustang Arena for varsity basketball competition. Please welcome our guests from Lake Minneola High School. They are the Hawks. And they'll be taking on your Wekiva High School Mustangs. Before we begin our game this evening, we ask that you please stand as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. And now, let's meet the teams. We'll begin with our guests from Lake Minneola. And we'll start at guard with 6-foot sophomore, number 1, Dylan Diaz. At guard, 5'9" senior, number 2, Micah Thomas. At point guard, 5'9" freshman, number 4, Javen Thomas. At wing, 6'4" sophomore, number 5, Sean Green. And finally, for the Hawks, at forward, 5'9" sophomore, number 15, Xavier Gordon Summers. The head coach of the Hawks, Marcel Thomas. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Wekiva High School Mustangs. Starting at power forward with 6'5" sophomore, number 24, Isaiah Bannister Doucette. At point guard, 6' junior, number 3, Jamaric Hammond. At shooting guard, 6'4" senior, number 1, Donovan Stokes. At guard, 6' senior, number 4, Quadri Roberson. And finally, for the Mustangs, at shooting guard, 6'2" senior, number 10, Isaiah Lester. The head coach of the Mustangs, Mr. Justino Lubin. The officials for tonight's game are from the Central Florida Officials Association here in Orlando. For those of you in the arena, make sure your friends and family back home know that tonight's game is being live streamed on YouTube as well as the NFHS network. Make sure you know that they can tune in. Just search for Wekiva Sports on YouTube or the NFHS network. All right. A little bit of tense moment there as the camera froze up. And welcome to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs, here with Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief, ready to take you through tonight's varsity contest. This is a late add to the schedule. The Mustangs were supposed to be at Haines City tonight on the road, and that game got canceled on short notice. The Mustangs are trying to get back to a 25-game season, and they were able to do so at the last second. Lake Minneola was available. Their gym was not available because their girls' team is playing at home tonight. However, they were available to come on the road, and Wekiva was able to switch things around and make it work. So we now have a Tuesday night home game. The Lake Minneola Hawks, this is a team that Wekiva, I think, we last saw them at home 2 years ago. and it is a team that has participated in various events here at Wekiva, so there's already a relationship between Coach Lubin and Coach Thomas. And so this was something we were able to put together on short notice, and glad to be bringing it to you on YouTube and the NFHS Network. Again, welcome to Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief, joining me tonight as he has for the past 13, now going on 14 seasons. And the Mustangs are going to get the possession arrow to start things off tonight.
Yes, a 1-1 team in Lake Minneola taking on Wekiva, 3-2. And the first thing that you need to know, very similar situation for Lake Minneola in terms of what Wekiva was last year, as Laster takes or Stokes unable to get the first attempt, field goal attempt to drop. Lake Minneola will take over possession of the ball. So last season, Wekiva, talked about this, had nobody on the roster who had any significant experience playing at the varsity level. Wekiva going to a trap to begin with, and Wekiva paid for that, winning only 3 times last season.
Laster gets the steal.
And Lake Minneola comes into this season with only 2 players who have any significant experience. So they talked about just looking forward to getting that opportunity to gain some experience, as well as the opportunity. They'll be a little bit deeper when the football season ends.
Green on the pass to Xavier Gordon-Summers to put the Hawks on the board.
Lake Minneola will be a lot deeper when the football season ends. They have several players who are on the football team, and Lake Minneola has made it to the state Final Four in their classification, as the steal does not net points. Hammett with the strong rebound, and we are off and running here in these first minute and a half.
Yeah, so a kind of frenetic start to this game. As you mentioned, Neil, going from 2 seasons ago into last season, the Mustangs were decimated. Hugh Roberson for 3 from Laster. And, Laster nearly picks off the Hawks, and we'll get a substitution. Checking into the game for Wekiva, number 33, Aya Charles.
So speaking of Wekiva, of course, we brought that up because Lake Minneola is in a similar situation with not a lot of players who have any experience at the varsity level.
Yes, what I started to say, I didn't mean I got cut off in the middle there by that rude basket. Wekiva was decimated. The rest of that sentence was by graduation and transfers. And as a result of that, to your point, Neil, really struggled with building experience. Last season was definitely a rebuilding year. Wekiva already has more wins here at the beginning of December than they did for the entire, or as many wins as they did the entire season last year. So things are looking up for Wekiva.
Yeah, certainly a much better start to this year than last season.
Javen Thomas draws the foul on the rebound attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against Mustangs, number 24, Isaiah Bannister-Doucette. That's his first and the team's first.
And you can really see that in this year's composition of classes. 6 seniors, only 1 junior, 4 sophomores, and a freshman. So certainly a senior and sophomore laden team, as the score is now 3-3.
Of course, Wekiva very much has in their memory the season where they got a state runner-up finish when Paul Reed was on that team. Of course, Paul Reed, big news, was drafted into the NBA. The 76ers got him a couple of weeks ago. And so that was a huge moment for Coach Lubin and for Wekiva basketball program history. That is the team that was the state runner-up. That's the best finish for the men's basketball team in school history.
Hammond with the jumper from just outside the arc. Good rebound.
Laster gets in there. Can't get it, but he does draw the foul. Isaiah Laster fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line for the Mustangs. The foul is called against Hawks, number 4, Javen Thomas. That's his first personal foul, and the team's first.
5:08 remaining in the first quarter. 4-3 is the score. Lake Minneola with the lead. Starting lineups, if you did join us after Mark introduced them. For Lake Minneola, number 1 Franklin, number 2 Thomas, guard. The other Thomas, also a guard, number 4, number 5 Green. He plays the wing. And Gordon Summers is the forward, number 15. So first free throw, no good. Score remains 4-3 in favor of Lake Minneola. And second one gets the roll. We're tied at 4-4. Those were the first two free throws attempted by Wekiva tonight.
Returning to the game for the Mustangs, Donovan Stokes.
And the starting lineup for Wekiva, as you just mentioned, Donovan Stokes, shooting guard, number 1. Jameer Hammond, number 3, the point guard. As the bucket drops,
Xavier Gordon Summers from Dylan Diaz.
And we're going to also see a turnover here, an unforced error under the basket. And finishing the starting lineup, the guard, Quanteri Robertson, number 4. Number 10, Isaiah Laster, the shooting guard. And the power forward, Isaiah Bannister-Doucette, number 24. For Wekiva, a very guard-heavy oriented team. 4 out of the 5 are some type of guard. And so now you're seeing that as they bring that ball down very smoothly. Can't get the bucket to drop, but they do get some field goal attempts. Again, that's something we did not see a lot of last season with the lack of experience on Wekiva's side. 6-4 is the score. We're still early in this game, 4:40 remaining in the first quarter. Wekiva going to full court defense from the start of this game. And again, Wekiva comes in with a 3-2 record. So this is an important game. Want to get up to that 4th victory. Bucket, no good. Run down in the corner.
Offensive rebound goes to Dylan Diaz. And the Hawks will get another chance to set up again. Has a man in the paint, blocked. Shot is blocked by Donovan Stokes. Manages to get it to go out of bounds off the Hawks. And so nice work there by Stokes in the paint. Mustangs will get the possession at their own baseline.
And Wekiva opened up the season as Hammond will bring the ball up with a loss. That was in the Metro Hoops Festival. But they then turned around and defeated Lake Nona and Winter Park in back-to-back games. They also took a victory this past Saturday against Colonial. The other loss was to Leesburg last week. That was by 1 point in the final seconds as Hammond can't get the ball to fall, drops off the heel of the rim. And a quick turnover, Stokes takes advantage. He's going to get the shot from 10 feet. He can't get it to drop, and we come back the other way down to Lake Minneola's end.
To the paint, not there for Green. Gets his own rebound, though. And it was not going to fall for him. Rebound this time goes to Roberson. And the rim just was not going to cooperate. Roberson gets the ball. We'll call that a block, I guess. Off of the Hawks. That was Gordon Summers there. Checking into the game for the Mustangs, number 33, Avia Charles.
So Hammond will inbound.
Nice inbound, but a good block by Gordon Summers. Quickly to the other side. And we're going to get a missed shot and a good block there on the other side as well.
So Lake Minneola with the lead, 6-4. They're wearing the green uniforms with the yellow trim in numbers. Moving right to left on your screen. Wekiva in their traditional white uniforms with the maroon trim and numbers, going left to right. Inbound pass to
that was Green. Couldn't get it to go. It's going to roll out of bounds, and the officials say it's off Wekiva.
3:10 remaining in the first quarter. Wekiva looking to get to their 4th win tonight. If they do get that 4th win, they will, of course, have more wins than they did all of last season. So in that tangible sense, certainly much to gain. But just in general, building some confidence and some momentum here at the end of the 2020 calendar year, certainly important for Wekiva. Lake Minneola, a young team, only 2 starters, only 2 players returning from last season with any experience. So they certainly could use a victory as well. There's a tray.
And it's an air ball. Mustang defense doing a great job on that last possession of frustrating the Hawks, but then they get the turnover as Hammond gets the ball stolen from him by Diaz, and now we're going to get a foul. Mustang foul is called against number 3, Jamaric Hammond on the hold. It's his first, the team's second, and that will send the Hawks to the free throw line. Number 5, Sean Green shooting 2.
So Green looking for his first points of the night. 2:34 remaining. Score will remain 6-4. Green, of course, 6'4", a sophomore. And of
Checking
course,
into the game for the Mustangs, Rogi Jacatine.
And of course, with the pandemic, it's a limited amount of fans in the stadium, as it's going to probably be for the entire season. And that free throw makes the score 7-4.
Hammond sets up the play at the point guard position. 2:22 to go here in the first quarter. Both teams struggling to find their rhythm offensively.
Yeah, a number of turnovers here in this opening corner.
Nice pass to the paint. Mustangs will go back outside again. Trey's not going to fall for Roberson. Nice offensive board there by Charles. He'll go for a second chance basket. The jumper not going to fall, and the rebound goes to Thomas.
And we're off to the other end. Lake Minneola increasing, forcing that quick pace. Give and go at the top of the key between Thomas and Gordon Summers. Gordon Summers drops it in low, and we're going to draw a foul. That was
Sean Green is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Hawks. The Mustang foul is called against number 3, Jamarick Hammond. That's his second personal foul, the team's third.
So Green doing some work off the board to draw that foul. And the first free throw, not good. Can't get that roll. Second free throw from Green. This one goes down, no problem. And that will increase the lead to 8-4, and Coach Lubin immediately calls a timeout.
The Mustangs request their first timeout of the game. 30-second timeout called by Wekiva. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to Mustang Gymnasium, home of the Wekiva Mustangs. Lake Minneola is the opponent tonight, and they have an 8-4 lead, 1:40 remaining in the first quarter. Neil Fisher along with Mark Barchi. That's Quanteri Robertson bringing the ball up, setting the offense. Jamarick Hammond drops it down low, and he will come up, the point guard, and reset the offense with now 1:25 remaining in the first quarter. Back up to the top, Stokes with the tray. No, battle underneath the board.
And nope, they're going to say that was out of bounds.
Yeah, off Nikhil Edward, who's seeing his first action tonight. So Lake Minneola has led from the start. Wekiva has stuck around. This is actually their biggest deficit at 4. They've gone full court defense from the beginning, and they're going to, look like they were going to get a steal, and then they do. Stokes picking up the loose ball. Quick pass to Edward. Back to Edward.
Nice look. And it's Q Roberson to Nikhil Edward for 2.
So 8-6 with under 1 minute remaining in the first quarter. Wekiva looking to surpass their win total from last season at 3-2. And now an opportunity to tie the game up in the closing minutes as a foul is called on Lake Minneola.
Charge is called against Donovan Rogers. His first, the team's second. Charge taken by Nikhil Edward. Excuse me, by Q Roberson.
And Hammond will bring the ball up, 40 seconds remaining. And an attempted steal, no good over the outstretched arms. That's Laster with the tray. He can't get it to go. Opportunity to tie the game by the wayside. Lake Minneola will set up. Quick
Tried to get
pass.
something done in transition. Mustangs wouldn't have it, but on the reset, it's good. That's Justin Thomas for the Hawks.
15 seconds remaining. Hammond will bring the ball up. Wekiva looking to get that last shot and cut into that 4-point lead. Certainly would build confidence and give them some momentum heading into that quarter. They're not going to get it. Ball's turned over and then stepped out of bounds. That's Javen Thomas, who's unable to stay in bounds. Nonetheless, that leaves only 1.7 seconds remaining. So most of the clock was killed with that last sequence. Inbound to Robertson. He's going to take the last shot. And the first quarter will end with Lake Minneola in front, 10-6.
That takes us to the end of the first quarter, and it is a 10-6 lead for the Hawks at the end of the opening 8 minutes here in the varsity contest on Tuesday night basketball action at Mustang Arena. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. The Hawks have the opening possession of the second quarter. 10-6 lead established in the opening 8 minutes for Lake Minneola. And they will work on that now as they get the first opportunity. Trey is not going to fall to open up the quarter. That was Diaz on the attempt there. Mustangs come up with it. That's Charles. Had some personnel changes during the break.
Hounded at the right corner now, up high, able to get the ball down. And Stokes will reset the offense, tells his team to let's take a deep breath. And there's your tray from Kerry Davis.
Kerry Davis for 3.
And that cuts the lead to 10-9. We're early in the second quarter. Another turnover for Lake Minneola. Charles passes it down to Davis. Charles doing work under the basket. And Wekiva has the first lead of the game.
Mustang putback by Abia Charles.
And at the other end, we got a runaway train. A couple of teams getting out, a couple of players getting out of control.
Block is called against Donovan Stokes, his first, the team's 4th.
So as we talked about in that first quarter, Mark, very poor shooting. Neither team actually able to find the rhythm. Lake Mary only 3 of 15, Wekiva 2 of 16. Lake Minneola with a 15-11 lead on the boards, and both teams turned the ball over 5 times.
Kerry Davis, coast to coast for 2.
So Wekiva on a 4-0 run. And Lake Minneola, make sure that does not become more.
Donovan Rogers is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against Mustangs number 12, Nikhil Edward, his first, the team's 5th.
So Rogers looking for his first points of the game. And he does get those points. It's 13-11 now. And again, that stops Wekiva's, I guess, say mini run. They scored 4 straight points from getting any more, becoming any more damaging. Stokes brings the ball up. We are at Mustang Gymnasium. And that's Bannister Doucette unable to get it. And Charles going low and doing work, draws the foul.
Abia Charles is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot two. The foul called against number 15, Xavier Gordon Summers. That's his first personal foul, the team's third. Oh, no, excuse me, they're saying he was not going back up. This is deflected out of bounds by Sean Green. And so it is Mustangs ball at the opposing baseline.
6:16 remaining in the first half. Thank you for joining us on this Tuesday night from Mustang Gymnasium. The junior varsity team defeated Lake Minneola.
Held ball, possession Mustangs.
So Wekiva again coming in with a 3-2 record, which might not seem all that worth writing home, but in comparison to last season when they won only 3 games, it certainly is a major improvement. If they get that fourth victory tonight, they will have surpassed last season's total, and I think that is critical. They're not going to be able to get points this time. A bad pass.
Stolen there by Javen Thomas.
And Lake Minneola moves that ball up the court quickly despite their youthfulness. And some good offensive rebounding.
Sean Green is fouled on the putback attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot two. The foul is called against Mustangs. Number 15, Kerry Davis. That's his first personal foul and the team's fifth.
So Lake Minneola is, again, they only have 2 players returning from last season's team who saw any significant time, but yet they get that ball up the court very quickly and put themselves in a position to attack.
Nikhil Edward back in for the Mustangs.
So Green at the line, looking to cut that lead to 13-12. Success. And Wekiva will go back to work on offense. A 2-1-2 zone being used by Lake Minneola. And boy, Hans got in there quickly, and another attacking drive, but
no basket, traveling. Mustangs ball. So the Mustangs dodge a bullet there. Checking into the game for Wekiva, number 4, Q Roberson.
Stokes takes the inbound pass. Lake Minneola again in a 2-1-2 full court zone. And Wekiva got it into the paint, but unable to get through the teeth of that paint. And now the other end, and the
no
foul.
Basket.
No basket.
Charge.
So Javen
taken by Isaiah Laster, and it is called against number 4, Javen Thomas, his second, the team's fourth.
As I say, Javen Thomas with a stop-and-go move, but a little too much stop-and-go there, and drew the contact. Created the contact, excuse me. So now Hammond over half court. Sweet pass down low into Laster. He gets his own
It's blocked by
shot.
Javen Thomas, and this one's going to stay with the Mustangs.
No, actually, Lake Minneola.
With the Hawks, I mean.
Yes, the Hawks. So Wekiva now going full court man-to-man. Both teams have going full court. That's Stokes coming up. Quick pass.
And Butterfingers out of bounds, Mustangs ball.
So saw a very smooth start to this quarter. Both teams scoring on their opening possession, and they've now turned it over on 3 consecutive possessions. 4:52 remaining before half. Neil Fisher, Mark Barchi, we're at Mustang Gymnasium, home of the Wekiva Mustangs, and the tray, no good, air ball. And down to the other end we go. Lake Minneola, that's Thomas bringing the ball up. Oh, nice, just over the fingertips pass, and
That's
Green
converts for points. Sean Green picks up 2 for the Hawks.
cuts the lead to 15-12. And now Jameer Hammond will slow down the pace. Wekiva once again gets past half court, but the turnover is in the front court. Stepping
3
on
seconds
the
in the
outbound.
key. Hawks ball. Checking into the game for the Mustangs, Q Roberson.
So 4:12 remaining. 14-13 is the score. Lake Minneola in the lead. The visiting team. And so far, seen a very quick-paced game, but not many points.
Double dribble, Mustangs ball.
And both these teams really looking to find their footing, so to speak, in pretty much every area of the game. Quarter and a half into this game. So Hammond brings the ball over center court, sets the offense. Lake Minneola backs off. And down low into Edward, who with the stop and go move draws the foul.
Hawks foul is called against number 5, Sean Green. That's his first personal foul. The team's 5th at the line shooting 2, Nikhil Edward.
And we are tied at 14 all. Second free throw from Edward. Opportunity to give Wekiva the lead. He can't convert. Lake Minneola with the quick rebound. That was Green. And he will set up the offense.
The one free throw made ties the game for Wekiva at 14. Trey for Thomas, not there. Rebound goes right back to Green.
The baseline drive, stop, 8-footer, no good. And ball will remain with Lake Minneola. So Lake Minneola in the green uniforms with the yellow trim. Wekiva in the white uniforms with the maroon trim. And traffic jam underneath the basket.
Traveling Mustangs ball. Checking into the game for Wekiva, Isaiah Laster.
(14-14) is the score. 3:15 remaining in the first quarter. And thank you for joining us tonight. Of course, with the pandemic, limited capacity, limited attendance. Certainly the athletes and Wekiva Mustangs are very appreciative of your support.
Held ball, possession Hawks.
And that'll be another turnover. I believe both teams have turned the ball over at least 5 times in this quarter.
Well, and there's another one for you.
So as we drop under 3 minutes.
Yeah, at this point, Minneola has 12 turnovers by my count, and Wekiva has 9.
So again, both teams looking to find their footing. Defense does have something to do with that, but a lot of not great play, not a lot of play being initiated in terms of smoothness and fluidity.
And Roberson gets into the stands there. Fortunately, no fans in the splash zone in that section.
With 2:15 remaining.
It is Thomas that chases down the rebound, and now the other Thomas that sets up the play. And just before the 5 count, we have a timeout, Minneola.
And so with the score at 14-14, we'll take a break. This is the Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network. And Mustang Gymnasium is the site tonight. The homestanding Wekiva Mustangs taking on the Lake Minneola Hawks out of Lake County. And we are tied at 14-14 with 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Obviously, as the score indicates, neither team able to really shoot the ball well tonight.
And we're going to have Sean Green step out of bounds. Mustangs ball.
Both teams under 20% entering the second quarter, and it's probably remained relatively the same throughout the second quarter. This is Neil Fisher, Mark Barchi. Donovan Stoke brings the ball up as we are now under 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Stokes gets the ball back in the corner.
Talked about the turnovers, 13-9 now, with still 90 seconds left in the first half.
And that's Robertson passing it off to Lasser. Drives, attacks the baseline, no good.
Q Robertson gets the rebound. Mustangs will get another chance here. Stokes doesn't have anything himself, goes to Robertson, not there for him either. To the corner, Stokes is short on the tray.
Scramble in front of the net and the paint. Held ball, Wekiva possession, 1:15 remaining.
Possession Mustangs on the held ball.
So score remains 14-14. That's Stokes with the pass into
That was
Roger Sneed Jacatine. Jacatine, excuse me, and he does some work under the board.
Jacatine is fouled on the rebound attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot two. The foul is called against Sean Green, his second, the team's sixth. And so that means that both teams will enjoy the benefit of bonus for the remainder of the second quarter.
So talked at the beginning of the broadcast, Wekiva is a much different team this season than last season. Last season they did not have anybody with any experience playing at the varsity levels. The score is 16-14. This year they come in with 6 seniors, Jacatine, one of those 6 seniors returning, and certainly could see that experience on that play getting to the line. And unfortunately for Wekiva, they returned the favor.
Push is called against Mustangs number 12, Nikhil Edouard. That's his second personal foul. And it's the team's 7th that puts Sean Green at the line to shoot 1-and-1 bonus.
Green, 6'4" sophomore.
Hits the first and earns a second.
And we have 56 seconds remaining in the first half. No good, but the rebound to Lake Minneola. It was Thomas coming up with it and off the bank, make the withdrawal.
Dame Franklin picks up the go-ahead basket.
And that makes the score 17-16. Lake Minneola back in the lead. Tuesday night from Mustang Gymnasium, last 30 seconds of the first half. Wekiva looking to retake the lead. They're down 17-16. Neil Fisher, Mark Barchi. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're enjoying this broadcast, especially in these times of pandemic. Wekiva moving the ball well around the perimeter, actually unable to get inside until now.
Q Robertson picks up a short jumper for the Mustangs.
In the 6-foot floater, as we're now down to 10 seconds, can Lake Minneola go into the half with the lead? Out in the corner to Diaz, no, off the rim, offensive rebound, work, there's the buzzard, and Wekiva is able to come up with the stop, and they will go into halftime ahead 18-17.
That takes us to halftime. It's a 1-point ball game, 18-17. The Mustangs lead the Hawks, headed into the intermission here on Tuesday night basketball action. And here are your halftime stats, beginning with Lake Minneola. Dame Franklin has 2 points. Justin Thomas, 2 points, 1 rebound. Javen Thomas, 2.6 rebounds, 2 steals, and a blocked shot. Donovan Rogers has put in a free throw. Xavier Gordon-Summers with 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal. And Sean Green leads his team for the first half. He's played all 16 minutes. He has 6 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. As for the Mustangs, Isaiah Laster has put up a free throw. Avia Charles with 2 points, 4 rebounds. Nikhil Edouard, 3 points, 2 rebounds. Rogi Jacatine has 2 points and 1 rebound. And tied to lead the Mustangs are Q Roberson and Kerry Davis. They have 5 points each. Roberson also has 3 rebounds and an assist. Davis has 1 rebound and a steal. For those of you who have not already done so, we want to remind you to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and subscribe to us on YouTube. We are at Wekiva Sports on all of those services. Make sure you follow Wekiva High School on the NFHS network as well if you are a subscriber, so that you can be notified anytime that we go live or have updates from our home athletic events and news and information about our athletes and alumni. Again, it's at Wekiva Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We also encourage you to bookmark WekivaMustangs.com, where you can get all of your scores, schedules, and much more. You can sign up for alerts there. In fact, perhaps that's how some of you knew about tonight's game, which was a late addition to the schedule. If you're signed up for alerts on WekivaMustangs.com, we will send you an email, a text message, or both at your choice. And we will let you know anytime there is a change to the schedule after it is originally published, so that you're always in the know. You're here for the games that are happening, but not for the games that aren't. So we appreciate your support. And for those of you listening online, we're going to take a quick break here at Mustang Arena. We'll be back in about 7.5 minutes with the second half of Tuesday night basketball action. The Mustangs lead the Hawks 18-17 at half. The Hawks have the opening possession of the third quarter.
They are home? Okay.
Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs, here with Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief, ready for the second half.
So as we get started here in the second half, the score is 18-17 in favor of Wekiva. Obviously, low score equals low field goal percentage, and neither team has an advantage. Lake Mary shooting 21%, 5 of 24. Wekiva 20% at 6 of 30. A advantage held by Lake Mary on the boards. That's 24-20. As the ball will remain with Lake Minneola. Lake Minneola also has an advantage at the free throw line, shooting more and making more, 7 of 12 compared to 4 of 6. However, Wekiva, 9 turnovers compared to Lake Minneola's 13. And so Lake Minneola led for most of that first half, but they never led by more than 4 points. Wekiva outscoring Lake Minneola in the last 3 minutes or so to take that 1-point lead. And we're going to have a timeout, only 30 seconds.
Donovan Stokes got a steal, and the Mustangs able to get the timeout called before he loses it or gets called. 30-second timeout is requested by Wekiva, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi here with Neil Fisher, ready to get going. Actually, just barely getting going with the second half. Mustangs able to pick up a steal on that opening possession of Minneola's and get the timeout called. They didn't really need a timeout there. They just needed to salvage the possession. Hammond can't get the tray to drop here, and no payoff as Gordon Summers gets the rebound for the Hawks. Coast to coast and gets the ball broken up by Hammond and Laster.
So talked about Wekiva coming into this game with a 3-2 record, defeating Lake Nona, Winter Park, and Colonial this past Saturday. The 2 losses coming to Leesburg last week and also Windermere, the opener, not only of the season, but the Metro Hoops Fest, as the shot is short and Diaz, scrapping underneath, is going to draw the foul.
Dylan Diaz fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Hawks. The Mustang foul is called against number 1, Donovan Stokes. That's his second personal foul, the team's first this half.
And Wekiva, after tonight, will travel to Colonial tomorrow, and then on Friday travel to Evans. And then the season, the calendar year ends with an away game against Windermere, and then they come back home against crosstown rival Apopka. The game on Friday against Evans is actually going to be the second half of a doubleheader. The women's team will play Evans as well before the men's. Of course, we talked about the women, 2-time state champion. 5 times they've made it to the state Final Four. And they have begun this season looking as indomitable as they always have, 5-1 this season. Wekiva, of course, with all their accomplishment, they have certainly become a team that is known for putting together strong second halves. It's not been unusual for them to be around 500 as Hammond drops the tray.
Jamaric Hammond, 4-3 on the pass from Isaiah Laster.
Some perimeter passing, leaving Hammond open just beyond the tray. Come back the other way. That's Green.
And he does have the putback. Sean Green on the second chance basket for the Hawks.
So talking about the women, they've had a number of years where they're around 500 for the first half of the season through the first 10, 12 games, as we have a foul.
Push is called against number 5, Sean Green. That's his third personal foul, the team's first this half. And that could be critical, Neil. Green is the leading scorer with 8 points and 8 rebounds, and he just picked up his third foul, and we still have most of the second half left here to play.
Yeah, 5:45 remaining in the third quarter. So the women, again, they've been around 500 a number of seasons through the first 10, 12 games. And then they put together incredible, I guess say, blitzkrieg second halves. Last season, they won 18 of their last 20 going into that final, the state final. This year, a much different story. They're already 5-1, so certainly things looking up as
Micah Thomas picks up a short jumper for the Hawks.
And that makes the score 23-21 in favor of the Hawks, Lake Minneola.
Looks like the varsity game is going to go just about the way that the JV game did, in the sense that it's going to stay within a couple of possessions all the way through. Donovan Stokes under the basket for 2.
Yeah, along the baseline drive. Oh, and the steal behind the back by Stokes to Robertson. Off the bank, make the withdrawal, and the foul. 23
Robertson
all.
gets the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. The foul is called against number 4, Javen Thomas, his third personal, the team's second.
And that play began with the turnover. Stokes doing some great works with his hands, getting the ball loose, and then he picked it up behind the back to Robertson. And give Robertson the credit, being in the right place at the right time. 4:53 remaining in the third quarter. Q Robertson drops the free throw, and Wekiva back in the lead, 25-23 is the score. Wekiva played full court defense for most of the first half, and they're going to continue here in the second half. This is a trap, and certainly it works, giving Lake Minneola problems and eventually turning the ball over.
10 seconds in the backcourt, Mustangs ball. And yeah, that's one where only one player is ultimately going to get charged with the turnover, which was Sean Green, the last person who touched it. But, I mean, that was a team effort by both Wekiva and a team turnover, really, by Minneola there. Excellent work on the full court pressure by Wekiva.
Yeah, and now Wekiva with the opportunity to get their first 2-possession lead of the game. 26-23, 4.5 remaining in the third quarter. Jamerick Hammond, the senior, and gives it to Stokes, and Stokes triple teamed right on that free throw line, and Lake Minneola will come back, and they come up with the big stop when they need to. But as you like to say, Mark, one turnover deserves another.
Laster gets the steal and then draws the foul. Hawks foul called against number 15, Xavier Gordon-Summers, his second personal foul, and the team's third. Checking into the game for the Hawks, number 3, Justin Thomas.
So Wekiva.
Also into the game for the Mustangs, number 15, Kerry Davis.
So Wekiva, a team with 6 seniors, and granted, this is not a high-scoring game, but we certainly have seen that senior leadership come into play tonight, coming up with those big plays when they absolutely have to have them. And now Hammock being hassled down on the baseline, does a nice job, and he gets an open lane to Laster. Quick turnaround into the front court.
And Kerry Davis is going to call it for traveling. Hawks ball.
Now under 4 minutes in the third quarter. That's Stokes on Diaz. And another foul.
Foul is called against Mustangs number 1, Donovan Stokes, on the push. It's his third personal foul. The team's second. And that could also be consequential. Stokes, while he doesn't have a ton of metrics in the books, 2 points, 2 assists, he is critical to the Mustang cause. He comes out with 3 fouls. Checking into the game for the Mustangs, number 33, Abia Charles.
Yeah, in the play that put Wekiva ahead, Stokes did not get any points, but he was responsible for getting the turnover and then the nifty behind the back pass to Robertson. So as an example, and that's Green with the layup.
Micah Thomas to Sean Green for the Hawks.
And that cuts the lead 26-25. Spin move by
Davis, and a rough pass to Roberson. They're going to say that was deflected by Green, so that's not a backcourt violation. Roberson goes all the way back himself, not there with the layup, though.
And Diaz pulls the rebound down. Strong rebound for the Lake Minneola forward.
And an anemic layup at the other end, not going to go. Charles has the rebound, quickly gets it to Hammond, and it's not going to go. But he does draw the foul. Hammond fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Mustangs. Foul is called against number 0, Dame Franklin. That's his first personal foul tonight, the team's 4th. So Jamaric Hammond tonight, 3 points.
And 2 rebounds for the junior point guard, 6 feet tall. And that first free throw ups the lead to 27-25. 3:02 remaining in this ball game. Second free throw makes the score 28-25. It's Charles on the defense, and now Davis. Franklin with the carry into the midcourt, past midcourt into the front court.
Free throws give Wekiva a 1-possession lead, 28-25. Floater's not going to go for Thomas. And the rebound goes to Laster in transition, not there. But the rebound is. And that is going to be Jamaric Hammond on the Mustang putback.
And Wekiva with its biggest lead of the night, 30-25. Franklin unable to get the ball. Tried to go off the bank. And now some trouble with Davis, and he can't control the ball. Picked off quickly by Thomas, and he drives the other lane very quickly.
Sean Green is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 for Minneola. The foul is called against Mustangs. Number 15, Kerry Davis. That's his second personal foul, and the team's 3rd this half.
So a lot of action over the last 3 minutes or so, Mark. Score still remains only 55 points combined.
Now Green has 10 points, 3 fouls tonight for the Hawks. Has an opportunity to close the game back to a 1-possession lead. Hits his first.
Yeah, nice stroke. And the second free throw from Green. This one does not go in. Scramble for the rebound. And that's Davis pulling the ball down for the Mustangs. Give and go between Robertson and Hammond. Now Hammond being double teamed. And
it's going to work as Hammond steps out of bounds. Hawks ball.
Both these teams looking to get some momentum and some confidence.
Yeah, that double team in the backcourt is a high risk, high reward kind of play. If it works, you get a turnover. If it doesn't work, then you've left 2 men out of the paint.
Thomas with the tray from beyond the arc, 5 feet beyond the arc.
Micah Thomas for 3 on the pass from Diaz. And we'll pause for a timeout. 30-second timeout is requested by the Hawks.
So a stop, pop, and drop from Thomas cuts the lead to 30-29, 1:49 remaining. This is the Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network.
Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mustangs holding on to a razor-thin 1-point lead, 30-29 the score, with 1:49 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
That's Neil Fisher, Mark Barchi. That's Q Robertson with the dribble, comes across court, does not set the offense. He's going to do it himself and makes the withdrawal.
Q Robertson, coast to coast.
32-29, Wekiva in the lead, 1:30 remaining in the 3rd quarter. This is a game that's seen both these teams move the ball up and down the court very quickly. But again, only 61 points combined, and there is some contact in the foul. Offensive.
Sean Green is called with an offensive charge taken by Q Roberson. It's his 4th personal foul, the team's 5th this half, and it turns the ball over to the Mustangs. So, Neil, that is potentially critical as the leading scorer, Green, with 11 points, now picks up foul number 4, and we still have 9 minutes and 15 seconds of action left. That could be very important for the Hawks moving forward. I see a sub has come to the table. I have a feeling it's for him. And there's Avia Charles with a short jumper for 2.
The 4-footer, that was a stop in an open lane, and he took advantage of it. 34-29, 1 minute left. Lake Minneola, a young team, only 2 players returning from last season, and they drain the rain.
3-point basket scored by number 1, Dylan Diaz.
Much needed points for Lake Minneola, cutting that lead from 5 points. And wow,
Q Roberson on the Mustang layup. Boy, making it look easy there.
Yeah, Robertson extending the ball in midair. And now at the other end, the rebound by Green and the simple turnaround jumper.
Second chance basket by Sean Green.
So after all that, it's a 2-point lead for Wekiva, 36-34, 10 seconds remaining. Hammond extended left wing over to Robertson at the top. 5 seconds, got to make a move. Robertson trying to drive the lane. He stops and shoots off the board. And no, Charles with the rebound, but not enough time to get the shot off. So 36-34 at the end of 3 quarters, Wekiva in the lead.
That takes us to the end of the 3rd period. It's a 2-point ball game. 36-34 is your score at the end of the 3rd quarter. 8 minutes to go here at Mustang Arena.
So we will be back on the Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network. Back to Mustang Gymnasium.
The Mustangs have the opening possession of the 4th period. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Parchi here with Neil Fisher, ready to take you through the last 8 minutes of some impromptu Tuesday evening basketball action. This was a late add to the schedule after Haines City canceled. And so the Mustangs now lead by 2, and it looks like we're going to get an exciting finish to this one.
Yeah.
Go to the corner, not there, but a foul. Q Roberson is fouled behind the arc. He'll go to the line and shoot 3 for the Mustangs. The foul is called against number 0, Dane Franklin. That's his 2nd personal foul and the team's 6th. So that also comes with an advantage for the Mustangs that it will put them into bonus for the rest of the ball game.
So the junior varsity teams opened up the night here at Mustang Gymnasium. And the Wekiva JV team took I believe it was a 2-point victory, actually a 1-point victory. Although the last 3 points did come as the buzzer was going. But point is, just like that JV game, it looks like this varsity game, as you mentioned, Mark, is going to come down to those final couple possessions.
Donovan Stokes returns to the game for Wekiva.
So Wekiva fell behind early. They actually trailed for most of the first half. However, they never trailed by more than 4 points. And they rallied in the last 2 minutes or so of the first half as now full court pressure in the backcourt. Lake Minneola having to stop for and regroup a couple of times, but they do get it over. So Wekiva took that lead in the last 2 minutes, going on a 9-1 run. And they maintained that lead throughout the 3rd quarter. as the tray falls, and we are now at 38-37. 7:15 remaining. Robertson with the dribble. Down into the corner. Attack on the baseline by Stokes, unable to get the right angle. Good defense by the Lake Minneola Hawks. Over it then to the left wing. That's Thomas. And the Wekiva defense is now starting to extend itself. Went in the half-court set. A strong rebound by Laster, the guard.
And here we have Hammond ready to set up the play. Minneola will back off a little bit and reset.
Spin move by Hammond, and he passes out to Robertson. Can't get the tray to go, but Charles with the rebound, another offensive rebound, and
Isaiah Laster draws the foul on the putback attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot two. The Hawks foul is called against number 3, Justin Thomas. That's his first personal foul. And the team's 7th.
That was Laster grabbing that 4th offensive rebound. And boy, that's just tiring if you're on the defensive end to give up that many offensive rebounds. So Laster unable to convert that first free throw. Score remains 38-37.
Checking into the game for Minneola, number 21, Donovan Rogers.
And certainly a surprise, maybe not one that sticks out, but Laster with only 1 point tonight. Of course, Laster, one of the 3 leading scorers for Wekiva coming into this game. That's why it's a surprise. Nonetheless, Wekiva still managed to, as I mentioned, hold the lead since about 2 minutes remaining in the first half without Laster really lighting up the scoreboard.
Second free throw is good. Hawks ball.
39-37. 6:27 remaining. And Wekiva is in the bonus already, so that should see if that comes into play. Lake Minneola, Wekiva with only 3 fouls, so Lake Minneola has a way to go before their shooting bonus. And Diaz drains the rain.
Dylan Diaz from Dame Franklin, 4-3.
And guess what? Lake Minneola is back in the lead, 40-39.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of accurate perimeter shooting until just recently, and now that's starting to come into play. Minneola from behind the arc is 4 of 11. 2 of those have come within the last few possessions.
So some attempts to get down on that baseline and attack do not come to fruition, but Robertson drives the middle off the heel of the rim. Charles snagging the rebound, and he can't get the 10-foot J to go. Lake Minneola doing work under the boards, and now they're doing work bringing that ball up the court. And Charles again getting into the action. Quick pass under to Hammond. Run the lane and score the deuce.
Charles to Hammond for 2.
And 41-40, Wekiva now back into the lead.
And boy, that was pretty from Isaiah Laster. Unfortunately, it was also illegal. Foul is called against Mustangs number 10, Isaiah Laster. His first personal foul, the team's 4th. At the line, shooting 2, Javen Thomas. So an opportunity to retake the lead here.
5:20 remaining. Thomas, sophomore, 6'4". He's a guard. And we are tied at 41 all.
Checking into the game for the Mustangs, number 12, Nikhil Edouard.
Been a back and forth game. Both teams having the lead for extended periods. Both teams giving up the lead in short spurts. And we are tied at 41 all. I guess it's apropos that the free throw was missed, but the tray is not.
Javen Thomas for 3.
So Thomas redeems himself, dropping the tray. And 44-41 is the score. 5 minutes remaining. Lake Minneola with the lead now over Wekiva here from Mustang Gymnasium, home of Wekiva. And we're starting to get some action from the Lake Minneola bench after that tray.
And we're going to get a foul away from the ball here. Push is called against number 21, Donovan Rogers. That's his second personal foul, the team's 8th. And that puts the Mustangs into bonus. Nikhil Edouard at the line, shooting 1-1.
So Edouard, one of the 6 seniors on the team this year for Wekiva, point forward. 6'3", and yes, gets the roll.
And in a game like this, every free throw is going to be critical, particularly as we close out these last 5 minutes.
Yeah, 4 points now for Edward. Biggest lead for either team has been 5 points. And 44-43 is now the score.
Rogi Jacatine comes into the game for Wekiva.
Wekiva comes in with a 3-2 record, looking to surpass last year's win total.
And we'll pause for a Hawks timeout, as Thomas didn't have anything he liked there, so full timeout requested by Minneola. And we'll be right back. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. 4 minutes, 48 seconds to go here in the ball game. Hawks with a 1-point lead, 44-43 is the score in what has been a back and forth contest all night long. Minneola will have the ball at their own baseline coming back from the timeout. This was one of those rare timeouts that was called by a player rather than the coach. As Javen Thomas was looking for an option, Mustangs were putting on the full court pressure. And rather than risk the turnover, he took the timeout. Now getting harassed by 3 people is Donovan Rogers, and the Hawks are going to have to burn up another timeout. Full timeout called by Minneola.
At 4:35 left, and your score remains 44-43. This is the Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network. Welcome back to Mustang Gymnasium. Neil Fisher, Mark Barchi, the Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network. Thank you for joining us on a Tuesday night. Certainly proud to keep apprised of all the Mustang action during this pandemic. And as you see, a block and down to the other end, Wekiva looking to take the lead. They trail 44-43 and 4:10 remaining.
Jamara Hammond there got a nice block on the previous possession for the Mustangs. And yeah, now this could be relevant as we get into the final minutes of this game, that thanks to the Mustangs' impressive defense.
And doing work under the board, Bannister Doucette on the 4th rebound. And that puts Wekiva puts Wekiva ahead 45-44. The turnover, that's Stokes, kicks it out to Laster, gives it back to Stokes. And a save, but not to the right team under the basket. Long outlet to Thomas. And boy, what was a rather slow start to that sequence, certainly built speed.
Yeah, I barely kept up with that, keeping stats over here.
So 3:31 remaining. Wekiva now back in front, 45-44, as Coach Lubin's going to take a timeout, reset his offense and defense. What's been a slow a very give no quarter, take no quarter game, as you can tell by the low score. But certainly it's been dramatic and interesting here. Both teams have taken the lead only to give it up. And we find ourselves at 45-44 with 3:31 remaining when we return.
Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi and Neil Fisher here with you for the last 3.5 minutes of this Tuesday night contest.
45-44 is your score. Wekiva just regained the lead before we went to the break. And Jamaric Hammond cannot get that bucket to fall. Tried to go off the glass. Would have given Wekiva a 2-possession lead. In the meantime, Lake Minneola does not let the opportunity go by the wayside.
Diaz to Green for the basket.
So Green going to the bank, making the withdrawal, puts Lake Minneola ahead. 46-45, under 3 minutes.
Looks like we are building toward a photo finish here at Mustang Arena. And for a game that wasn't supposed to happen at all, this one has turned out to be a pretty good one.
Yeah, and certainly neither bench has shown much emotion throughout this game. The last minute or so that has changed. Both benches urging the players on the court on as we're down to 2.5. That's Laster, and he draws the foul.
Isaiah Laster fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Mustangs. The foul is called against Hawks, number 4, Javen Thomas. That's his 4th personal foul and the team's 9th.
Your leading scorers are Quateri Robertson for Wekiva with 14, and Sean Green, who just got the deuce for Lake Minneola with 15.
Correction, the foul is called against Micah Thomas. That'll be his 1st. Isaiah Laster shooting 2.
And Wekiva will be not just in the bonus the rest of the way, but the double bonus. And only 4 fouls committed by Wekiva. So certainly an advantage for Wekiva if they can get to the free throw line. If they can draw the fouls, they will go to the free throw line. And Laster ties the game up at 46 all. Wekiva comes in at 3-2. They won 3 games all last season. Of course, that was mainly because they had no players who had any varsity experience at the beginning of the season.
Rogie Jacatine returns for the Mustangs.
So if they are able to win this game tonight, they will surpass last season's win total before we turn the corner of a new calendar year. And now harassment. Oh, got that trap going. Oh, Lake Minneola able to work its way out and down into the corner. No, off the rim. Stokes pulls down the rebound and dumps it off to Hammond. 2 minutes left. Hammond brings the ball up, crosses midcourt, sets the offense. Wekiva looking again to get its 4th win and surpass last season's win total. Much different team taking to the court this year. A year more of experience, a year more better decision making, and just a year more better physically. But Laster under all kinds of pressure, and that's Franklin sticking his hands in a jump ball. And Lake Minneola will have possession.
Held ball, possession, Hawks. And that actually counts as a steal if you do it when the possession arrow is in your favor.
So the good news for Wekiva is they still have the lead, 47-46. The bad news is they do not increase the lead with 1.5 minutes left.
Blocked by Stokes.
Again, quick hands and the turnover, and we get another timeout. Score remains 47-46. Wekiva in the lead and possession of the ball when we return to Mustang Gymnasium. And we return to Mustang Gymnasium. 47-46, Wekiva with the lead. 1:20 remaining. Neil Fisher, Mark Barchi, Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network. Oh, almost out of bounds. Hammond does a nice job of keeping it inbound.
Oh boy, manages to get it to Stokes, and that was a nice trap and an even better answer from Hammond and Stokes.
So back and forth game. We come down to the last minute. Despite the low field goal percentage, it's been very exciting and very dramatic.
Looks like Coach Lubin told Wekiva to wait for their shot. Oh, that was not a great pass, but Hammond nearly managed to bring it in, but Diaz got the best of him, and it finally does result in a turnover. I think both of these teams are going to be happier with their defensive performance than their offensive performance. And here comes the timeout as Coach Lubin is like, oh my gosh, let's take a beat.
Yeah, let's take a deep breath, settle down. And that was Javen Thomas unable to connect on the three-pointer. The score remains 47-46, 38 seconds left from Mustang Gymnasium. And live from Mustang Gymnasium, 38 seconds remaining. Neil Fisher, Mark Barchi.
Yeah,
Wekiva holding a 47-46 lead.
Yeah, we had a little miscue there because the teams were coming back from the timeout and ready early. The timeout horn sounded as the ball was thrown in, so we had to reset the clock and do it again. No harm, though.
And Wekiva with possession of the ball. They are wearing the white uniforms with the maroon letters and trim. Lake Minneola in the green uniforms with the yellow trim and numbers. And Wekiva will be shooting double bonus the rest of the way, the last 33 seconds.
Foul is called against number 5, Sean Green. That's his 5th personal foul, and he retires from the game with 15 points, 9 rebounds for the Hawks. At the line, shooting for the Mustangs, number 1, Donovan Stokes.
And of course, you mentioned that Green has been in foul trouble for quite some time, and that was critical because he is the leading scorer, not just for Lake Minneola, actually for both teams.
And this is double bonus, so he would have gotten a second free throw whether he made the first one or not, but still, the free throw by Stokes gives Wekiva a little bit of insurance.
Yeah, Wekiva has had the 1-point lead for about a minute 15 seconds. And they finally, after two opportunities, get that lead up to 3 points. This Diaz bringing it up into midcourt under 30 seconds now. Hawks need to get a couple of baskets or a tray. They're using up a lot of time here, and that's partially due to Wekiva's defense, now allowing the ball to get down into the lane. 13 seconds, and that's going to be enough for Lake Minneola. They call a timeout. And so the timeout's taken, 49-46. Wekiva in the lead, 13.5 seconds remaining.
All right, so we've got a little bit of confusion at the score table taken care of, and now we have a 30-second timeout taken by Minneola. That is their final timeout. Both teams have now exhausted their entire complement of timeouts.
So that means we are going to get 13.5 seconds in consecutive.
Leading scorers for Minneola, Green with 15, Diaz with 8. For the Mustangs, Hammond has 9, Q Roberson has 14 going into these last 13.5 seconds.
And so one last stretch of 13.5 seconds. What's been an exciting game, back and forth, is going to come down to those last 13 seconds. 49-46, Wekiva in the lead. Lake Minneola looking to tie this up. They need a tray. 5 seconds from the right wing. No, off the rim. Thomas unable to connect. Stokes draws the rebound in the foul.
And the Mustangs will go to the free throw line to shoot double bonus one more time. The foul is called against number 1, Dylan Diaz. That's his first personal foul. Donovan Stokes at the line shooting 2.
And so Thomas unable to get the attempted 3-point to drop, goes off the front of the rim, and Stokes doing the work under the board, coming down with the rebound, which perhaps a slight opportunity to win after that rebound, but certainly now the lead's up to 4 with 2/10, and that will do it for tonight. Both free throws good, 51-46. And the last 0.2 of a second check off the clock.
That takes us to the end of the ball game, and for a game that was not supposed to happen at all, it turned out to be a great one. A close game all the way through, and the Mustangs come out on top in the end. 51-46 is your final score. Q Roberson leads the Mustangs with 14 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Jamara Cameron, 9.6 rebounds. The Hawks are led by Sean Green with 15 points and 9 rebounds. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for coming out tonight or for joining us online to support your Mustang and Lake Minneola athletes. For those of you here in the arena, please drive carefully and arrive home safely. Those of you who tuned in online, make sure that you subscribe before you go tonight. If you're on YouTube, press the little red subscribe button. Click the bell as well so you'll know whenever we go live. If you are watching on NFHS Network, make sure you are following Wekiva High School. Once again, thanks for joining us tonight. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Wekiva Sports, and bookmark WekivaMustangs.com for all of your scores, schedules, and more. Good night from Mustang Arena.